just to start off, obviously Mo missed the first game of the season. Is there any update on her playing on Wednesday or how she's progressing?
Yeah, I mean, I think she'll do more today. So we'll do more in practice today, and then we'll again evaluate after every day. I know that it's a boring answer, but it's the thing that you know you do when you come back from injury. It's like you go through a practice, you add a little bit more. You see how you are post practice, you see how you are the next day, and then we evaluate. It really, literally, is one day at a time.
You mentioned with Caitlin and just the adjustments during the game, that kind of being an ongoing thing. Could you just expand upon that? Is it like an injury related or just kind of just basic maintenance?
No, it's basic maintenance, and you know, I think when you think about the expansion of medical teams in the W, you know, it's like every other professional team. Like you have more hands on duty and more people on duty and more hands on deck, and you can go back and you can get regular maintenance adjustments. You know, I know everybody's focused on Caitlin, but our other players are going back to get regular maintenance too. So yeah, it's just going to be something that's going to consistently see. I wish I could go get an adjustment at halftime.
Is it like just like a chiropractor, just kind of works on them, loosens them up, or?
No, I don't. You have to ask the medical staff exactly what it is. I stay in my lane.
That's fair.
For you guys, that 104 points on Saturday, what did you like about the offense, and what can you build upon taking that as you start to gear up for LA?
I liked our pace. You know, I thought our pace was really good. You know, we played fast. We got some open looks. You know, we still got to be better in terms of our ball movement and player movement. You know, we've got to be willing passers, reverse the ball, get multiple touches on the floor, get some paint touches. You know, so I mean, we scored 104 points, and we're still pretty much in our infancy level in terms of playing together. So that's going to continue to get better. But when you score 104 points, you got to win the game. And we gave up 107, so we need to focus on our defense.
And then what is it defensively that you guys are going to try to work on this week as you get ready for 3 games here?
Well, transition defense, you know, we've got to be better at getting matched up in transition, of getting back in transition, of not giving up so many easy looks, and ball screen defense. You know, those are 2 areas that were glaring weaknesses in game 1, and so we're going to continue to work on that.
For you guys going on the road for the first time this season, what's the mindset or the mentality as you guys get a chance to go out to LA and try to get your first win of the season?
Just continue to get better. You know, get 1% better every day. You know, we want to clean up some of the things that we had breakdown-wise on the defensive end against Dallas, and we'll look to clean it up against LA.
With the defensive breakdowns in transition, is that just maybe, what do you chalk that up to? Is it fatigue? Is it just players still getting up to speed? How do you view that?
I think it's quite a few things. One, I think it's awareness. You know, if you got to either offensive rebound or you got to get back and get matched up. I think 2, it's it's looking for your man in transition, and it's always near man transition. And then I think there's just a urgency to transition from offense to defense. You know, sometimes it was too busy looking at the refs. Sometimes it was you know, pressure in the ball in the backcourt with multiple players instead of one. Sometimes it was taking chances in the backcourt, and sometimes they just beat us down the floor. So we've got to be able to transition our bodies and our minds quickly from one to the other. We don't have a problem doing it on offensive end, so we got to lock into doing it on the defensive end.
This is kind of an unusual road trip. Like, you don't usually go out all the way to LA for one
Yeah.
game. How do you prioritize, you know, rest, wellness, going that far?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy scheduling to go out for a one-off when you're crossing 3 time zones. You know, I don't know that you see this in other sports leagues that have more teams. So we'll go out a day early. We'll get adjusted, you know, and not only are we crossing 3 time zones and playing one game, but we got to come back and play, 48 hours later or however long it is. So, you know, we'll have to come back and prioritize rest on our day in between, and then be locked in to prep for Washington on Friday.
Raven making her WNBA debut. How do you think she handled the moment, and what did you see from her there?
You know, I thought a little bit nerves, as you would expect. You know, sometimes you just, it's game 1, it's day 1, it's a different environment. You know, before the game, she was just like, man, this crowd is crazy. But look, she'll settle in. You know, she'll settle in. I thought she did some really good things for us on the defensive end, pushing the ball, pushing pace. So she's going to be fine. But yeah, there were a little nerves, I thought. I don't know if she admit to it or not.
For the first game back for Sophie, what did you like from her getting back out there on the floor, being able to give you what she did in her 25 or 26 minutes?
Yeah, I thought she was good. You know, Sophie's solid for us. You know, on the defensive end, rebounding, her activity level, her communication. We got to find her more, though. I mean, you know, she's a knockdown 3-point shooter. I thought we missed her a lot. We missed her open looks. You know, she's getting back to being an elite cutter because she's also a very good cutter, and she's a great ball mover. So we've just got to get her more touches on the offensive end, and just continue to rely on her to be that communicator and leader for us on the floor.
Lexie's workload? Was that about what you were expecting for minutes?
Yeah. I think it was 10 to 15 or something that Lexie had. So, we don't want to push it. We want to make sure that we're ready and healthy. And, as our players get back, I think we have 4 or 5 players on minutes restrictions. So as we start to get back and really solidify our rotations, it'll be helpful.
Pleased with the physicality for a season opener from your guy?
Yeah, I thought it was good. Look, we're going to overcorrect, but this is what we want. I think the game was fun to watch, right? Like, you want free flowing. You want to be able to see players do what they do best. I think the challenge is going to be to call it consistently, number one, and to stick to it. I mean, players aren't happy about all the foul calls, but I'd rather have that than the slugfest we had the last couple of years.
You mentioned 4 to 5 players on minutes restrictions, just outside of Lexie, who's kind of still working back.
We're still got one return to play with Ty. We're still in return to play with AB. I don't even know who's still out there. It might be it. Well, Mo didn't play, yeah. So it might be that. And for us too, just managing minutes early. Like, we don't want to gas out, our players, and we probably did that in the second half. We probably should have went back to our rotations a little bit quicker, and shortened minutes.
So just for starters, how did you feel about performance Saturday for you individually?
Individually, I felt great. First half of the game not so well for me, defensively, but I had to find my groove. The coaches said that they needed me, going into the locker room, so I just had to get myself together, just decompress, lock in, and had a great second half performance.
First half with the defensive stuff, was that just kind of like jitters kicking in, kind of blinding you?
I don't want to blame it on the jitters though, but just mental stuff, probably just locking in, being in the moment, being where my feet are. So yeah, need to do that a little faster next game.
Steph was, after you came off the floor in the first half, Steph was talking to you off to the side. What were you two talking about?
And just telling me to pick it up. She's on me a lot more this year, and I don't mind it. She's coaching me. And I'm a great player. I can be coached, so I can take anything that she says to me, to a good heart. It's just positive reconstruction and everything. So, she just on me a lot this year, and just, I'm up for the challenge of being able to perform how the team needs me to perform.
Is that one of those things that it's almost encouraging when a coach is on you because it kind of shows they believe in you a little bit?
Yeah, it does. They have a lot of confidence in me, and also I have a lot of confidence in myself because I got the first year out the way. I know what I'm doing out on the floor now, and everything seems easier for me. So, yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence knowing that my coach believes in me and wants me to be the best that I can be for the team.
Is it becoming easier to not overthink things as much, or is that something that you've been working on and focused on?
Yeah, I'd say it's much easier not to be overthinking now that, I got that first year under my belt now, and I know my teammates. I know what's expected out of me this year. So I'm pretty confident.
Something that Kelsey mentioned after last game was just what you've learned from Taj Howard and even AB a little bit. Just if you could just tell us what you have taken away from last year playing with Nash and then now 2 years with Leah.
With Taj, I say just the way she moves on the court, cutting, making sure she's looking at her defense and seeing what they're doing, and then that, determines what I'm able to do on the court, offensively, or if I need to cut, space the floor well, grab some rebounds and everything. And AB just being aggressive, she's still here. She's been here, this is her 4th year, so, she's just a great player. Her aggressiveness on the court, just whenever she talks to me, she encourages me a lot on the court, and she's just a great player and great teammate.
In the locker room, were there teammates coming up and talking to you a little bit, kind of hyping you back up, or even on the bench?
Yeah, for sure. Like, Mo is my great teammate. She's a great communicator. Like, she was hyping me up. She was like, "It's gonna be a big second half for you," and she was right. But all of them, they encouraging me, telling me that I need to pick it up. I need to come on, look alive, wake up, or whatever. But yeah, it's good to know that they believe in me and they looking forward to me to do what I need to do on the court.
Did you have a sequence when you felt finally kind of settled in and in your groove?
Yeah, I was flowing then. I was just like, come on, why did it take me that long to get right? But yeah.